Most people only know the Mary Rose warship for her famous sinking in 1545. However, she had actually been a successful warship since the beginning of Henry VIII's reign in 1509. Henry faced multiple threats from the French, and the common tactic for raising ships for the King's Navy was to commandeer merchant ships and strap a cannon to them. By 1509 this was no longer a viable option, with battleships being created throughout Europe. Henry must create his own standing navy. The Mary Rose was one of his first battleships. The First French War commenced in 1512, and the Mary Rose was the Lord High Admiral Sir Edward Howard's flagship at the head of an 18-ship fleet. They successfully raided Brittany, pillaging villages and capturing 12 Breton ships. However, in 1513 another attack was launched against the French fleet, resulting in the death of Sir Edward Howard. You may not expect it, but the Mary Rose was also vital to England's victory at the Battle of Flodden, where James IV of Scotland was killed, ferrying ships from the south of England to Newcastle. Throughout the next few decades, the Mary Rose continued to play an important part in the French wars of 1525 to 1542, and was renovated in around 1536, reinforced to carry a heavier load. There is even speculation that a new gun deck was added, and definitely new gun ports are cut. The Mary Rose became the flagship of the English Navy once in 1545, when the French attempted invasion. With a break from Rome, Henry faced an even greater threat from France, and his treaty with the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V against the French collapsed, leaving England isolated. The Navy dropped back to Portsmouth to more easily defend, as they were outnumbered. They fought the French at the Battle of the Solent, and it is here that the Mary Rose sank, not due to the French, but rather, it seems, due to turning too steeply, resulting in the Mary Rose keeling over and sinking. Only 34 survived out of the hundreds who were on board. The ship sank into the mud, being covered in silt, and hence part that was buried did not rot. It was initially attempted to salvage the ship in 1545, but soon all attempts were stopped. In the 1800s, it was rediscovered and a few cannon were excavated, but it was quickly forgotten about, until Alexander McKee started the search for wrecks in the Solent in 1965. It took many years of diving and careful excavation until she was finally raised to service in 1982. She now rests in Portsmouth in the Mary Rose Museum, where the artefacts that were on board, giving us a unique insight into the lives of the people who lived on board the ship, like none we have ever had before, due to the preservation of the wooden objects. I would highly recommend visiting the museum and the ship so you can fully understand the immense size of one of the first English warships and what it meant to be a man on board. Thank you for listening.